An important step in solving mathematical problems, well, in fact, any problem, is to make sure that the answer you arrived at makes sense. So, one technique for determining whether an answer is reasonable is to estimate. So, estimation is to process at arriving at an appropriate answer, or should I say, approximate answer to a question. Now, how do we estimate or approximate? Well, often we do so by rounding numbers as a symbol, a rounded number where it is easy to work. So let's take a look at a hypothetical situation and see, can we proceed by estimation. So what if you're given money from a grandparent and you wanted to know if you could purchase a car? Okay, so let's put if you could purchase a car. So you go shopping and the salesperson show you 2 or 3 cars, one you really like, but you need to know if you have enough money to make the purchase. And when I say purchase, I'm talking about complete purchase. Okay, you think, I have that amount covered, but what about the sales tax? So let's take a look at a couple of concepts to estimate this sales tax, or anything else for that matter, as you shop. So we see that this car you saw was $18,000, but you need to approximate the total cost by looking at the sales tax. So one way we can do that is we can make a list, and under this list we have 2 things we want to put. So the first thing we want to put is 8%. So we know 8% is written as 0.08. Okay, so now we want to round this number. So let's take the number, round it. Now we definitely know that 0.08, so 8 is in the hundreds, 0 is in the tenth. So do we round up or down? Well, 8 is greater than 5, so we will round 8% to 10%. It's an easier number to work with, which is 0.10. So now let's take a look at our actual price. So we see that the car costs $18,000. Now we can take that and round that to up. So we have 1 in the 10,000, 8's in the 1,000, but 8 is greater than 5. So we will round that to $20,000. Okay. So now we will take our computation. Here we need to determine, it says, what is the sales tax? So the sales tax would be multiplication 0.10 times 20,000. So we have 20, 1, 2, 3, times 0.10. Now you notice I put that 0 on the very end, and the reason why I've done so is because zero property of multiplication says 0 times 0 equals to 0. So there's no sense in multiplying by that 0. I'll just drop it on the end and multiply here. 1 times 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. And I hope we understand that when we multiply by a decimal, our final answer has to be pointed off according to how many decimal places. So I see 1, 2 places behind the 0, so I will come and mark here. So that's giving me an estimate of $2,000. So right now, my estimate for the sales tax is equal $2,000. Now, of course, if we went ahead and did the actual math, we would know that we would be a little bit over, but that's what estimation is about. You don't want to get to the cash register or go up and buy the card and go, oh, you're short. So estimation is really, realistically, will give you an overprice of what you actually should pay. So let's go right ahead, since we this far along, and determine what the actual sale price is. The difference between estimation and actual. So let's just go ahead and see what our actual sales tax will be. Okay, so here we're going to have 18,000, and that's going to be times 0.08. So again, 8 times 0. Notice that 0 is on the inside, so we're not going to put it on the outside. That 0 goes behind the decimal, and we will have to multiply this time, but you'll see. 0, 0, 0. 8 times 8 is 64. Carry out a 6. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 6 is 14. Okay, so again, if we go ahead and multiply times 0, we're going to get just 0 anyway. So I'm not going to do that multiplication. What I'm going to do here, because my answer won't change, what I'm going to do is I have two places. So I take two places here, point off, and my actual is equal to 1,440. Okay, now we know that that is not equal to, or approximately, $2,000. Let's see. So again, estimation, very good way for you to understand, and you can do this with several concepts, but it's a very good way for you to understand how to determine what your final pay will be once you get to the register. And in this case, if you took $2,000, set it apart and say, hey, I'm going to look at $22,000, if you have that much money, you for sure can buy this car actually $18,000 with 8% sales tax. All right, so what I'll do next is I'll put a problem up for you to work and let you determine what the actual estimation will be.